2016 HotelPlanet.com PGA EuroPro Tour season is in full swing, and this week we're at the magnificent Longhirst Hall with event 4 of the season. Welcome to Longhirst Hall at the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. This is the 7th year here at this venue and the 3rd time on the Dawson course. Let's see what's coming up on this week's show.
Further back in your stance, got plenty of green to work with as well, so there's nothing to worry about there.
When you're leading the tournament, middle of the green here, 2 putts and on to the next tee is all you're looking for.
Everything is sort of coming together how I want it, and I'm just letting it happen.
All that to come, but first, Kit Alexander was lucky enough to be joined by Graham Chambers from Longhirst Hall.
Graham, you're Director of Golf here at Longhirst Hall and also a Director at Dawson and Sanderson, our sponsor this week. How does that relationship work?
Well, Dawson and Sanderson have been in the travel industry for over 50 years now, and around 20 years ago we invested in setting up this golf operation, and it made perfect sense on such a prestigious tournament as the EuroPro is becoming, to highlight both what we've achieved here at Longhirst in setting up the golf and highlighting the brand of the travel agents at the same time.
We've been treated to some really dramatic finishes here in the past as well. Why do you think that is? Is it a course that sets up for that?
I think it is. I think we've got a lot of scope for the tournament directors to change the strategy of the course, if you like, depending on the weather conditions and playing conditions of the day. We've got varying teeing opportunities so they can shorten the course, lengthen the course. We can obviously make the greens quicker or slower depending on what the weather is. We've been able to keep the course playable, difficult, yet still fair. And I think looking at the scores, it's obviously going to be a great finishing afternoon again.
Fantastic. Well, it's a pleasure to come up here every year, and thank you for your support, and long may it continue.
Yes, hopefully, long may it continue.
This season's PGA EuroPro Tour has gone off to a blistering start. We've had high drama, fantastic shots, and 3 first-time winners. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
One bounce, hop straight in the hole like a rabbit down a drain pipe. Happy days.
He's drained it and moves into the lead.
Oh! Well, done that very nicely.
It was running like a scolded cat. Boom, hit the pin, in. Oh dear, at times, but this makes you look.
And Richard Edgington is the winner of the IFX International Championship.
Oh, what a chip that is.
Things looking very good indeed for Marsh. Little run for him to put him back in contention, and that is going to help. What a clonker.
That was an absolute gobbler. Can he drain a monster? It's looking good. Turn, turn, turn. Oh my goodness!
Oh.
He's gone and hold it.
He only drains it to force a playoff. What a putt.
So the stage is set for these young pros, and with high winds expected, it's not going to be easy for golf's future stars, as John Morgan explains.
Well, we're here at Longhirst Hall, and what a great golf course. It is a par 73, but actually they've refined it and put it into a par 72, making the first, what was a par 5, into a par 4, which is extremely difficult for these lads. Now, the conditions, a bit benign, you know, been raining cats and dogs here and there, and it's made the course very damp and soggy at 6,713 yards. It's going to play actually a little bit longer than that because there's no run on the ball. It's landed on the fairway. You're not going to see the ball escalate 20, 30 yards further down there. When it pitches on the green, you're not going to see big bounces, especially like last year. Do you remember last year? 30, 40, 50 mile an hour gusts of wind, just playing havoc for the lads. But the trouble is, this week for them, they're going to have to deal with just soggy conditions. Maybe the ball might pick up a little bit of mud here and there. Maybe the ball might just come off a little bit squirty on them. So it's going to be very, very difficult to post a really low round around a course like here at Longhirst Hall.
Thanks, John. So a stern test for the players this week. After round 1, Bedford carded an opening round 68, 4 under par on the Dawson course to lead. Christopher Evans, Jason Timmis and Niall Kearney shared second on 3 under. Matthew Court and Greg Payne will begin the final round of the Dawson and Sanderson Classic with a 2-shot lead on 6 under par. With 51 making the 3-over cut and 9 golfers within 3 shots of the lead, it is set up to be a close finish. So the pressure is on Matthew Court and Greg Payne. Will they hold their nerves and battle it out for their first EuroPro Tour victory? Will the overnight leaders prevail, or will they be caught by the chasing pack? Here to take you through all the action, John E. Morgan, but first, Simon Golding.
Away we go then with the final round of Event 4 and another fantastic EuroPro season. And we go straight out to the course to catch up with Bedford. His second shot into the first hole on 4 under. Conditions once again here in the north of England. Just keeping it interesting for us, and it's going to be the same into this final round as well. If you can tame this course, then you can win this championship. And alongside me, I'm delighted to say, John E. Morgan. John, let's take a look at the third.
Yeah, third, beautiful hole, par 3. Very open, I know, but, you know, the green is there, sparked out in the middle of nowhere, it looks like. But, you know, the wind and conditions round Longhirst play absolute havoc for the players. So getting the right club is essential at this par 3.
Well, the course maturing very nicely indeed. It's always been a test when we come up to the northeast coast. And it's going to be a test again today. Curtis Griffithson, a man who has graduated through the Wentworth programme, turning out a lot of good golfers, John, and a lot of clubs deciding on this route, almost an academy route.
Oh, without question, I think it's a great breeding ground for any player, any ambitions to go on to bigger and better things in the long run. You know, come out here, earn your stripes. This is what it's all about, as we see this young lad now. Oh, look at that.
Oh, he striped that one. 5 under, very nice. Bedford moves on with a birdie at the first. Oh, it's a strut as well. That's what we like to see. Now back to Curtis at the third.
Downhiller, right to left. Look at the speed on this one. He's going to drift. He's got it. Look at that. Dents the back of the hole.
Well, that is the way to start to tame this course. A couple of putts drained early doors. And if someone can get a move on here, there's a chance of setting a good number. Now this man can play. Greg Payne, tied second at Burhill, second event of this season. Been on the EuroPro Tour since 2013. Regular top 10 man, but we're still waiting for Greg to really make those breakthroughs on a regular basis, but very tidy golfer.
Oh, nice big wide takeaway. Look at that. Great at the top of the swing. Unleashes it through it. Nice to see a good left-hander out here.
Unleash hell, as they say. Now out to 3 again, and O'Neill. 200 at the moment for him. We've had a few pretty tough days, haven't we, up here to play in?
Well, it's unbelievable, Simon. I mean, the conditions out there, you know, early doors, a lot of rain fell, a few bunkers had to be put as GURs. We see this swing now coming in very strong. Look at those arms. My goodness. Should be in the world, you know, strongest man. Look at it. Punching that one through under the wind. But last year, we've seen the conditions, and it was blowing an absolute hoolie. And it's still a little bit of breeze out there, though, Simon.
Now, one of Midland's finest golfers. Been leading that order of merit for several years now. Matthew Court riding still, I'm sure, on a crest of that Leicester wave. Leicester City fan smashes that one out into play.
Look at this one. Now, Matt has been around for donkeys, it feels like. I know he was a pro when I first turned. That was a good 15 years ago now.
Into his 40s now, but looking like a very, very accomplished player at the moment. Now, O'Neill. Well, these guys set themselves high standards from that sort of distance.
Well, they got to. You know, if you don't do it, someone else is going to, and just got a little bit too much check on that shot. But this is a difficult one for Matthew. I have to bring this one from left to right. Water lurking back left of this green. Bunker short right. Oh, and look at that. Clubbing absolutely perfect, spot on. Hit the yardage right on the number.
Dean, birdie opportunity at 4. This would be nice to move the score on. And move it on, he does. Well, Joe Dean will certainly take that. The Hillsborough Golf Club man. Solid start to his season and looking good out there. Now back to the lefty, Payne, joint leader on the first.
Oh, he's got a good whip through the ball, hasn't he? You can see that one just drifting from left to right. Little draw. Bit of spin to boot. Downwind. This is normally a par 5, playing a par 4 this week. And it is a brute, Simon. It really is. A long baby.
O'Neill for par. Where did that read come from? Or was it just a tug?
I think that was a misread there. I didn't see no sensation of pulling the arms across him to pull the putt and miss the hole.
Back to court then for the lead to temporarily put some pressure on his playing partner.
Yeah, good 30-footer for his birdie. Still a lot of work to be done. Greg would have been hoping for a nice read off of that one, but probably didn't get a lot out of it.
Yeah, he's given him nothing apart from hit it harder. Bedford in the running after that early birdie. His tee shot at the 3rd. And you'll see this a lot at Longhirst Hall. Players taking this hole on, taking flags on and getting punished by that blustery condition.
The thing is, you know, the trees around the golf course hasn't fully bloomed like they should have, probably. You know, they've been there quite a few years now and it's still very exposed to the elements. Wind swirling across the top of them. As soon as the ball gets above it, whew, it's gone. Now Greg Payne.
Yeah, that was gone as well, wasn't it?
It was.
So Greg with a chance to take the lead. He misses that one, so it's pars to stay level for those two. As we go to Griffiths with his 3rd at the 4th.
Oh, this is looking lovely. Go on. Oh, thank you very much.
Well done, boys. Usually takes a little while to get going in these final rounds, but we are straight into the action. 2 birdies and a little chip in from off the green. Now, Court needs this one to stay on track.
And that's the kind of stuff you need, Simon.
That looked confident, didn't it?
It did. Definitely. Ease the nerves. First hole of the day, final round. Bedford, not back of the stance, hands forward. Get a little bit of loft, a few hops, let it release. Go, go. Cool, a lot of work to be done. That's a 4 chip from him.
In danger there of undoing the good work. Back to Payne to stay on level terms with Court. Hey, I like the funky golf shoes going on there.
Yeah, look like slippers, don't they?
Back to the future.
Doodle-doo. Beam me up.
Now Bedford, as John said, a lot of work to stay at 5 under. Ooh, just looked to take a little skip, I think, as he struck that.
Yeah, not his Sunday best, but you know, you move on. There's many chances out on this golf course. It's just the elements can get you.
Well, that's how things stand after a very lively start to our final round in the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. It's Payne and Court still neck and neck out in the lead, but plenty of players will fancy their chances of tracking them down as this round moves on. Not easy conditions out there, but these two still fighting it out head to head, and they will continue after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Longhirst Hall and the Dawson and Sanderson Classic final round action. Before we get back to the course, let's go to Johnny Morgan. Kind man that he is, he's handing out some free coaching lessons.
Well, we're 30 yards out from the green here at Longhirst, and my good friend James Dawson, who's the producer this week, we've seen him last week at Cumberwell Park. Here he is. He's the man with the yips. Now, we're trying to solve it, you know, open Pandora's box for him and see if we can get him solved and get him on the straight and narrow. He's at 13 handicap at the moment, is that right, James?
Yep, that's right.
And you want to get down to 9?
Yep.
You want single figures?
I want single figures.
Well, come on, man.
That's what I'm going for.
And you just told me, actually, this is where you feel like you're your most yippiest stage.
This is where I'm at my most vulnerable.
Are you?
I feel. I've hit 2 good shots in here, and this is the one I struggle with.
Can you show the camera? Well, please show us. Hopefully it's a yip. It's probably going to be a good one now, but you never know. You see how you are under pressure with the camera rolling. We can get a good butcher's here. Grip needs a bit of sorting out though, but that's for future reference, that one. Very big common thing as we look there, James, what you do is, but you really try and help the ball up in the air. So your grip is like this, so very, very strong. So naturally it's going to just want to come back in neutral, and then look at that club. Yep. But what you do is you try and help the ball up in the air. So this whole left arm comes away from your body and up really quickly, which means you're trying to get loft on the club, but there's already loft on the club. Yeah. So you don't need to try and add more to it. You just don't have to do it. It's there for you. You can actually punch it and it will actually get enough loft and enough spin. You'll probably get a better strike in the end. But do that again for me here. Now you, come here. Now, if you come here and have a look at this. Look round at James.
So same shot?
Same shot. But you can put the ball a little bit further back in your stance. Got plenty of green to work with as well, so there's nothing to worry about there. And I tell you what, just this bit here, if I grabbed a little bit of that and tuck that under, try and keep that as close to the body as you can through the shot. Hands forward. Go on, get in. Oh, genius. Go on, get in. Oh, oh.
Well, that was a lot better.
I'll tell you what, enough done, I think, don't you? You boys and girls at home, just copy him.
Cheers,
Happy with that, mate?
Yeah, great stuff. Not going to play a better shot than that.
No.
Well, it's got to be all downhill from there, isn't it? That was just too good to be true.
Now they're back to the real action out on the course, and I can tell you we've had some developments because Payne has bogeyed 2, so caught out on his own in the lead. As we go to our first look at this young man, Blaine Behenny, Werburn Golf Club man. Had a reasonable start to this season, and he looks like a young man that will be in the mix at some stage during the course of this year. Now, co-leader, caught.
Coming off the cusp of the green here. Oh, that took a big jump. Is that taking the sting out of his tail? Get to the hole. God, he's running, running. Go on then. Oh, my goodness, nearly disappeared.
Well, the camera operator kept us waiting there. It wouldn't stop going. He gave that a hell of a rap.
He did. It took off in the air. Yeah, it looked good in the air. Fair play. Well done, Matthew.
Happy to get up to that one and knock it in. So good stuff. Now back to Joe Dean. Tied 3rd at Q School at Mottram Hall earlier this season. Looking to kick on from that.
Oh, really picks up the club very quickly on the backswing. Very nice. Look at this. Ooh. What a golden opportunity to knock that one in for a birdie.
Sensational shot, sensational position. Now Bedford, after a good start to get to 5 under, has dropped a shot and finds himself 2 behind the leaders now.
It's like general right to left shot here over the water. It's on dry land. Island Green, the 5th.
Bit of craft required here from Payne, but he's got the surface to play this from. Well, he got the check just where he wanted it, but that bit quite hard, didn't it?
It did. Little uphill there to save his par though. Shouldn't be any problems. Greg Payne, no, by me. Across the green, 25 feet. Go, go, go. Oh, he was in the jaws. He had it if he hit it.
He knows it as well. So Braheny rolls that one in. Little thought about what could have been, but then it's all about the next hole. Keep moving forward. Chance here for Bedford.
Yeah, this is totally different. Last year, like I said earlier, this was neon impossible to try and hold this green. And look at this one. We're all able to hit it, but the putting is the hard bit. Oh, and that's another one. Shaves the edge of the hole.
Well, he's had a step forward and a step back today so far, Bedford. And that one, status quo time. Now, Godwin.
Out with the fairway wood. Long hole this sixth. Oh, and look at that. Lands like a nice, gentle 7-iron.
Whew. That was a glorious shot.
Yeah, that's what you call a perfect strike. No Evans at the back of the green. Just about no more than 12, 15 inches to come through a fringe. Can affect the putt. As you see, just a little bubble might have taken it off route. No, it didn't. It put it back on route.
Good strike from the Wishaw Golf Club man. Is that another Wizard of Wishaw we see?
You couldn't leave yourself an easier putt here, Greg. Straight up the hill. 2-footer. Yeah, there you go.
Well, you talked it up just right, John, and Payne delivers. So still looking good out there, but he'll be ruining that bogey at the second. Now then, the Englishman, just 22 years of age, from Chobham Golf Club, turned pro back in 2012, but really starting to move through the gears now and could be a real tip for the future. He spoke to Kit Alexander.
You've already got 6,000 in the bank from that runners-up finish. A real chance today to bank 10,000, jump to 16 and take a grip of this Order of Merit early in the season. Yeah. How important is a fast start to the year?
Well, I've never really had a fast start, so for me, you know, being informed this early, I'm just trying to make the most of it. So I'm going to give it everything.
And knowing what the weather might bring later, looking at the leaderboard, is there a number you think that might win it?
I really couldn't tell you because I have no idea how that weather's going to play. I mean, level par could be a good score, but then if the rain doesn't come, then maybe 8 might be a good number.
When you have that uncertainty about the conditions and what constitutes a good score in the final round, how difficult is it to approach it with the right strategy and attitude?
Well, I'm just going out to play my game, really, you know, take hole by hole, shot by shot, you know, and see what happens towards the end of the round. You know, if you need to take on certain shots because of other people's influences, then, you know, you have to step up and make that shot. But to start the round, you just play your game, how I've been doing it for the last 2 days.
Speaks well, doesn't he, John?
He does. Old head on young shoulders. I think we've got some good things going to come from him.
Yeah, that second at Burr Hill has really got things rolling for Greg Payne. And it's all about the Order of Merit. It was ever thus. Those top 5 positions for a Challenge Tour card is what these guys are after. And unfortunately, that young man will be ruining those couple of putts. Bedford, disappointing to walk away with a bogey after such a fabulous effort to get into the green. And talking of fabulous efforts to get into the green.
Well, this is well deserved as this goes in after a phenomenal second shot to here. Come on, convert it. Disappear. Get in there. Well done.
Well, Eagles just change your round completely. Moves from 3 under to 5 under, Godwin, with that eagle, and into contention. Sneaky little look at the camera there. Yes, we got that one. Now, Dean at 7.
A little bit right to left, right edge putt here, up the hill. Yes, beautifully done. Very calm, cool and collective. Looking smart. Looks like he's got his girlfriend on the bag.
Well, considering the weather conditions that Kit Alexander mentioned, very tidy start to this final round. It's Matthew Court that does find himself in the lead, courtesy of that Greg Payne bogey at the second. But Joe Dean moving himself into contention at 5 under as well. It's looking really good at the Dawson and Sanderson Classic as we move through the opening 9 holes. More to come then after the break. Can Court hang on? Welcome back to Longhirst Hall and the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. Now, considering his recent focus on the weather, Kit Alexander rehearsing for a new career as a weatherman.
One of the biggest challenges the players face on a day like today is the wind. It's tough enough when it's windy, but that's constant. What the players are having to deal with today is changeable winds in terms of the strength and the distance. The success of a shot can be down to simply the timing, whether you catch the right gust, whether it does what you're expecting it to or not. You've got to stay really patient, stay really focused if you want to keep hitting greens and fairways.
He's got the hand gestures down to a T, as he could definitely be the weatherman, couldn't he?
Yeah, a bit of hot air from Mr. Alexander, but he's absolutely right. It's not easy out there. Matthew Court leads at 6 under, just ahead of Joe Dean and Greg Payne, a shot behind him. O'Neill then with his third into the 6th. Already seen a couple of fabulous shots in here. Godwin's was the pick of the bunch, but that's not bad from a shorter distance.
That was awesome. Really dropped the hands nicely. Got nice and shallow through the ball. Popped it up. Nice bit of spin. Well controlled as we see the 5th though. Par 4, 401 yards. Quite a few birdies out on this baby this week. I mean, you can take it past this water. It leaves you kind of, you know, no more than a sand iron in. You can really dominate it. You know, if the conditions, the winds are up, makes this hole a total different ball game for the players. But you really can take it on, especially if the wind just stays that little bit quieter and does what Kit tells them to.
And it finishes, of course, with that beautiful target feel. And Court about to take that target on. Will it be a bullseye for our leader?
Well, this is the bailout area. You aim down the 4th. You come back over the trees, over the water, and yeah, you just do it like that. Look at that. 15 foot, straight up the hill, a little bit of left to right.
Like shooting fish in a barrel. Now then, this man has moved into his 40s, but has moved into a very rich vein of form at the moment. The Midlander is starting to build a very nice season, and he spoke to Kit Alexander.
It was nice yesterday, pretty calm, and you could get a few birdies out there, and I just put it in play, you know, kept it in play. It's the fairways are quite generous, but if you go offline, then you can start losing balls and get into a bit of bother. But I kept it in play and hold a few putts, and it was a good round, yeah.
That's got you into a tie for the lead on 6 under going into the final round. How are you feeling this morning?
Yeah, confident after yesterday. I've just got to keep going and, as I say, put the ball in play and go from there. I've been playing well last few weeks, so I feel this has been building up to something pretty good. So just got to try and go out there and do my best and see what happens.
Well, he's a seasoned veteran. He's been around for donkeys now since '97. My goodness, loads of experience. Great course record, 65 as well. As he taps that one in, but Matthew would have been happy as Larry with that 65. I mean, it's not easy round here. You know, conditions can be quite benign. I mean, you know, it's softened up the course. It's in great nick. The greens are nice and true, so you can take it on. But it's just if that wind just disappears on you, Simon, you've got a hell of a chance to do it. And Matthew did it.
Yeah, fantastic second round effort from him. We just saw O'Neill knock his birdie putt in to go to 2 under, and Payne, one off the lead, playing alongside Court into that green as well. Now back to Evans.
Out of the wood as well. Tall, high flying left to right, ball flight, just coming up just shy. If you ever want to leave it anywhere, that is the best leave. Nice little chip up the green, plenty of green to work with as well. 25 feet up the slope. Little touch of left to right in this. It didn't move. He played for it.
Not for the first time today. Bit of borrow been played for, and it hasn't taken. Now Evans from the place that Morgan would have favoured if it was where he was going to stop short, and that's why.
Yeah, it's quite a simple shot for these players. You would expect to do a little bit better than that. You know, the top players, you know, your Spieth and your Jason Days, they'd be looking to hold that. You know, that ball would definitely be going about a foot and a half past the hole, really endangering it.
Well, caught after that beautiful approach. Again, not threatening the hole. Now back to Bedford. This man has threatened, just hasn't quite delivered so far today.
Yeah, it's just been the greens. Can he pop one in for us? Come on. Oh, he is just shaving every lip of these holes. He's striking the ball so good. Just not converting. Just one of those days so far, but you never know. Just keep plodding along, my friend. They might just fall your way.
Yeah, totally agree, John. Now caught to stay at 6 under. No movement at the moment in his round. And there we go. Steady Eddie from Matthew Court. He's got that kind of personality out there on the fairways. Doesn't get too involved with it all. Nice and calm. Up against a young man that really has the bit between his teeth, Greg Payne.
Didn't realise he was 22 years old. My goodness, he's a puppy, isn't he?
Only looks 21. Nice roll in from Evans. As I said, regular top 10 man, Chris Evans. Wouldn't be surprised to see him pulling a result out of the bag before too long. Now Dean, birdie at the 9th to go to the joint lead. Eagle chance at 10 to rip this final round wide open.
Go on, endanger the hole. Oh no, hold on, slow down. He should be able to tap that one in for his birdie and take a lead.
I gave it the big build-up. That should have been a big fist-pumping moment, but not quite there. Now, this is an interesting choice.
Yeah, deciding to put it. A lot of fringe to go over. Would have chipped this one. But if it goes in, I better close my mouth. Oh, right. Well, I'm just not even going to bother talking.
I do not get to say this very often, but John E. Morgan, shut up.
Yeah,
shut
he
up.
knows better than me. Cheers, Simon.
Great effort and a very good piece of course management there from the young man. And we have a change on the leaderboard. It might become another change because this man might take the sole lead with this putt.
Yes, and there you have it.
And there is the confirmation that Joe Dean has moved into the outright lead here at the Dawson and Sanderson Classic at 7 under. Now, time to get back out onto the course and take a look at hole 8 with Johnny Morgan.
Yeah, hole 8 just kind of out of bounds to the right-hand side. Doesn't really come in play. It just swishes round from left to right, this hole. Big beauty, really open. You know, you really can take it on. You know, the tree's not really in play. You could find yourself in a sticky situation if you slightly leak one and got to work one round them. But this green just sits in the middle of kind of nowhere, but it's just a really small green, small target to try and hit. So you might see a lot of people chipping and putting on this one.
Jason Timmis trails by 3. Our first chance to look at the Englishman from Newcastle under Lyme in action. 69 and 72 on his first 2 days.
This has gone way right. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I wonder if that was a hosel. I think I'd have to try and catch him when he comes off the golf course and ask him, but it's one of those words you don't want to say. Was that a shank? I don't think it was. I hope it wasn't.
Well, it certainly finished ugly. Now, interestingly, for a left-hander, I don't find Greg Payne difficult to watch. As an out-and-out right-hander, I struggle sometimes to watch left-handed players, but he's smooth.
He is smooth, a very rhythmical swing. Mother on the bag as well. Good old mother. Fan favourite.
10%, of course.
Oh, yeah. Got to be. Got to pay his rent.
Yeah, Joe Dean, our new leader. You're right, John. He hits a towering ball. A little bit too much this time.
He's a big lad. A little bit of work to be done, but you'll fancy his chances on that chip. Now, Timmis coming out of the thick rough, knee high to a grasshopper. Needs to come down sharp on the back of this ball, punch it out. Look at that big heap of grass up in the air. Oh, I'm just trying to be a little bit too cute, maybe. That pin very tucked close to this right side of this green. Not easy to get at.
Now the former England international having a bit of a time of it. Now Dean with his third shot. John fancies this one. I should think Joe does as well. Oh, he gave it a go.
Well, there you go. There's the confidence in the man. He's ripping it 6 foot past for his return there to save par, but give it a really good go. Good opportunity for a chip in there, and he knows it. He looks very cool, calm and collective, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Just like this man, Matthew Court. Challenge Tour player. Played at the PGA at Wentworth as well.
He's played European Tour, Challenge Tour, you name it, he's played it. This man's been everywhere.
Now back to Dean, trying to hang on to this lead that he's carved himself. No. Well, he might regret being so bold now with the chip.
I tell you what, it looks like he's got a good temperament. He's taking that in his stride. You know, he knows it was a little hiccup there. He shouldn't have been dropping shots, especially in that position.
Now Timoths, after that shocker from the fairway, trying to minimise damage here. That was very nicely done.
It was just that to perfection.
Mate. Please.
Tap that one in.
Tidy that up. Yeah.
Going to be a drop shot, I'm afraid, though.
Great camaraderie out on this tour. It really is, Simon. You know, that you're just hearing it. It's all right to finish that up, take the flag out, put it back in for him. You're always having a chat down the fairways. There's a lot of friendships built around this tour. And it puts you in good stead. As we see Greg now, chipping onto the green. Come on, release. Oh, just dug its hooves in.
I think we've got a great team of people involved in general. The players, supported by the PGA staff. And then as well the television crew, the likes of Kid Alexander, who the players feel very comfortable around. He asks the right questions, he talks about the game in the right way, and I think it elicits some great responses. And more so than ever, I feel that we're getting a real insight into this tour and into the minds of the players that are trying to be successful here on the EuroPro Tour.
Yeah, here, Simon. And I tell you what, we've got some great players that have come out of here as well. Just in the last 2-3 years, we've seen the Jack Seniors. You know, William Harold won it here against Bradley Dredge, you know, 2 years ago. And then, you know, my goodness, King's going crazy on the Challenge Tour, winning. It's brilliant times. James Robinson going nuts as well, ripping the ball to shreds. And, well, Paul Howard, I seen him the other day in Austria. And he was playing extremely well as well. And Daniel Gavins, the list goes on and on and on.
As Court delivers right on cue, birdie putt to go back into a one-shot lead at 7 under. How quickly things can change here at Longhirst Hall. But you're absolutely right. A whole bunch of graduates listed there by Johnny Morgan from the EuroPro Tour, kicking on to greater things.
Just puts them in great stead. You know, the courses that we're playing on now, all through the year, are just absolutely fantastic. They really do make you have to make your decisions one-track minded, get focused just like this man, and not making it happen, just dragging that putt again to the left. I don't know if that was a misread or he's just coming over the top of it, pulling around with his left hand maybe, I don't know.
Well, he bogeyed 7, he's just bogeyed 8. This is not good from O'Neill, I'm afraid. He goes back to 2 under. Dean then hoping not to go a similar way.
That's 2 on the bounce. 2 misses on the bounce from similar distance. 1 right, 1 left, just misreads, I think.
Goes from the lead to 2 shots off the lead in just 2 holes. That's when you need that mental toughness to your game. Now Payne has continued steadily.
We've seen the read from Matthew. Can he do it? Oh, just doesn't come back from there. Greg, doesn't come back, mate.
Well, we were clutching our heads, I'm afraid, in the commentary booth after that putt. And Payne, I'm sure, will be ruining it. Not too much damage done, but just not the step forward that he was looking for. So Matthew Court finds himself back in the lead at 7 under after that birdie, but still a group of chasing players that could give him some real problems over the closing holes. Right, we're off to a break, but only after Johnny Morgan has shown us how to spin it and win it.
Now, many ways to kind of hit a lob shot or a chip shot or a wedge shot into a green like this, you know, especially as the pin's near the front as well. You can kind of play the low kind of bunchy one, which takes the spin off it, kind of one hop stop, you know, really controllable, especially in windy conditions. Or you do the showboaty one. You flip it to the back of the green, you spin it back 20 feet, the crowd absolutely goes bananas around it, and I tell you what, you just walk off with a big little smirk and a nice little hop, skip and a jump in your step. Now anyway, I'm going to go for 2 shots here. 56 first, which is a nice little low one. Take the spin off it, hop and a stop. Let's see what I got. Now, calm, mate. Nice and shallow through the ball, keeps the ball nice and low into the wind, really controls that spin. A little bit bold and brave, but I tell you what, there it is. Hop and a stop. or you do the showboat you want. Out with the low wedge, this one's going up into the heavens, and once it lands, well, with the greens the way they are at the moment, nice and soft, spinny, fast, this one could come off the green. Well, straight at it. This could be so close, but then yet so far. Maybe the greens are just that little bit too soft.
Welcome back to Northumberland and the northeast coast of England. Longhirst Hall, the venue. Final round action from the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. Well, we'll be getting back out to the course shortly. Let's just take a look at how things are, though, on the leaderboard. A bogey for Evans, unfortunately, takes him back to 4 under, and Matthew Court handed a 2-shot lead at the moment by the rest of the field. Let's get to Johnny Morgan then. He's at the 10th.
Well, the start of the back 9 here at Longhirst, the 10th, is 317 yards, and what a cracker it is. It's a kind of do and die relationship when it comes to the players. You might stand on this tee, depending on the conditions, and think, right, iron off the tee for safety is about 60 yards short of this green, the water on the left-hand side. So about a 5-iron or a 4-iron if you want to play safe. But driver, also very tempting to go for it, especially with the wind conditions. Look at this, straight down wind today, as you can see, so golden opportunity for the players to really have a good pop at this green. And I think just on the right edge of the screen, let the wind just take it down from right to left, and hopefully you get it on the putting surface and you'll give yourself a really good chance of an eagle. I'm going to give it a good old wallop just over this little nice bit of water hazard on the right hand side and let the wind do the rest. Here we go. That's tight, it's looking good. It's right down the flag. Oh, don't kick left. Oh, I think I might be on the putting surface. I'm not too sure, but let's go up there and have a look. Well, just come through the back of this green at 10. You can see I'm faced with a long chip and run coming back towards this flag. Plenty of green to work with. Opting, I was thinking, do I putt it, don't I? I'm not quite sure, but I've got 8 feet of fringe here, which, you know, it's going to make the putt pretty inconsistent when I come to playing it. As you can see, I've got the water on my right, got the bailout area on my left-hand side, which you would do off the tee. And lucky for me, it got on the green, but just run through. But I've got the old Tom Morris blade out here, 7-iron. Can I get it on the putting surface? This green slopes down and left to right. So, you know, anything past that flag is going to give me an easy putt coming back to make my birdie on this, well, you know, do or die kind of par 4, like I said. Now, 7-iron just outside the left side of the hole. Get it down there, be positive. If it drops, well, happy days, you make a 2. I'll tell you what, it's not too bad. Hold your line, hold your line. Oh, just missed. But look at that, got an uphill putt now, no more than 4 or 5 feet for a birdie. Great 10th hole.
Yeah, some big, majestic holes here at Longhirst Hall. Former seat of Admiral Collingwood around these parts. Did embarrass myself on a visit to Longhirst a couple of years ago. There is the Collingwood Room up at the main hall, which I thought was named after the England cricketer, Paul.
Did you?
Yes, I was corrected.
Good lad.
I see no ships.
He nearly followed me. Tennis to the back of the green. Great shot there at the 10th. Now Evans.
You can see that wind and the effect that it has on some parts of this course. A brave shot here, holding it up into the wind. Very nicely done from Evans. He could have overcooked that. That was the 9th. This is the 13th.
Well, you take it over the corner of the water to a big landing area, which is kind of like an island ferry at this 544-yard par 5. Landing it just with probably no more than 240, 250 yards for your second shot. But it's a tall feat coming over the water, not really in play for your second. It's all about the drive, but then you come up, funnels up into this green, kind of little soft rise into a very narrow surface. 2 beautiful bunkers on the left-hand side to just cause havoc with your brain.
A monster that has bared its teeth. Joe Dean already had a drop down the fairway. He's got another drop there, but that's a free one off the cart path. We'll see how he handles things. But let's get back to the 10th, and Timmis with an eagle opportunity.
long putt this one. Left to right. Come on, should keep coming. That's well weighted. Just seen a good thing the other day. Sergio Garcia really focusing, ready for the Open Championship on his feel of his putts, getting the weight of his putts right. Very vital to get that ball stopping near the hole, because at dead weight that ball could just disappear and go, thank you very much.
Got a feel for his chip there. Good recovery from Joe Dean, his 4th shot at 13. Now Evans with a chance to progress his score.
Yeah. Oh, that was a positive action. Still as a daisy. That really was. Beautifully done.
Yeah, great stuff from the Wishaw man. Now, normally when you read a golfer's profile, you are thinking about golf, but with the European Football Championships on everyone's mind, Christopher Evans, the appropriate interviewee for Kid Alexander, because he used to love his soccer.
I had trials with Villa, and so I was really, as big as I am into golf now, I was into football. And I just started to slowly just make the transition into golf.
At what stage did you think it was golf that was the future rather than the football then?
I think really, to be honest, it was the fact that it's more of a, it's not a team sport, so it's down to you. So if you make a problem or if you make an error, it's down to you. So I think in a team sport, you've got to rely on other people.
He could probably get another trial with Villa these days at the moment.
Now, come on. He's missed a few of these. Trying to knock one in. Come on. Oh, up and out very quickly on that, but he knew that was missing. Straight to the right.
Yeah, Joe Dean having a time of it at the moment, I'm afraid. Now back to Jason Timmis. Birdie putt. Well, nicely done. Keep an eye on Timmis. Moves himself to 4 under, and he's got a rather purposeful walk about him at the moment.
And this one ain't dead. This one for bogey, for Dean. I tell you what, when you miss a few, that hole gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's harder and harder and harder.
It's going to hurt. He's gone to 4 under. It's caught, though, with a 2-shot lead still on his nearest rivals. And playing alongside him is one of his nearest rivals, Greg Payne.
Yeah, laying up on 10. Could be a wise move. This one, obviously just not feeling it. Taking the safety option, and look at that. What a great spin control with the wedge. You don't need to go for the green if you can hit shots like that. Good course management there by Greg Payne.
Caldwell, another very good former football player, turned golfer, and one of Clandeboy's finest.
Oh, well, Clandeboy played that a few times. Absolutely loved the golf course. And Caldwell just cannot get a birdie. It's a par machine out there, the Northern Irishman. He did play with Rory McIlroy in the Walker Cup many moons ago. And this guy's got some serious talent. He's an aggressive player, likes to throw down the gauntlet and rack up a few birdies. We see Court now flying it to the back of the green, also laying up as well. And that's a lot of work to be done for his birdie.
I'm sure Court will be aware of the situation out there, so that 2-shot cushion means he doesn't have to take any risks at the moment. It's the rest that do. Evans then with his 2nd shot.
Yeah, that was a good strong swing, great strike with the iron. I'll be happy with that. It looks like a 4-iron. And that was a good penetrating ball flight. Now can he stop the rock? Come on, he's had 12 straight pars. Good solid golf. Come on. 0-1 for us. Turn.
Oh no. Oh my goodness me. Takes you back to Faldo, doesn't it, a few years ago at the Open with all those pars.
Yeah, we're all yawning, but I tell you what, he didn't do too bad, did he?
He did all right. -3 then for Caldwell, with not many holes left.
The short par 4 10th is a really good birdie opportunity as our lead group make the turn for home. Greg Payne has taken on a really aggressive line with the pin left and the water there, also the wind pushing, but he's played a great shot. His reward is a short uphill putt. Matt Court, the leader, slightly more cautious, middle of the green, a touch long, but still a really good look at birdie.
I wonder if Kit knew they were just over his shoulder and listening. At least he was being nice and positive.
Oh, yeah, good old Kit. Does a good job. As we see Evans now, oh, he's positive putt this one, and just drifted left about 6 foot out. Look right in the heart, all the way. Of course, this one, down the hill, left to right. I don't want to rush your blood. You'll have a 6-footer coming back. Oh, this is good pace. This is good pace. Oh, fractions out.
Partial celebration started, but not finished. But I don't think Matthew Court is a rush of blood man, is he, John?
Nah. He's a very chilled out boy. Been there, done that. No frills, no spills. Now Timmis taking a drop, hit it in the hazard. This is third, out with the wood. Long way back. At least 280, 290 to go. Yeah, coming up way shy of this green. Way to the right, bailout zone over there. That's going to be a tough one, first fourth.
Now, slightly strange reaction on the back end of that putt for Evans. But no problem on the return, but has to settle for par. And another chance to make a move has just passed him by. Now, Timmis, this will be feeling very long and very difficult right now.
He's going to have to have great contact on this ball, get some spin, short-sided, close to this pin. Oh, plays it well, but look at that. The green slopes from right to left from where he is, slightly into and across. That ball just drifting away from the hole, inch by inch, second by second. It's going to be a tough par save, that one.
Now for Payne. Scoring opportunity. They are few and far between on this course in windy conditions like this, and Payne will know that that's one that's got away from him.
Yeah, you don't get many opportunities around Longhirst, especially on the Dawson course. You know, the 10th really does give you that golden opportunity for a birdie, if not an eagle, if you want to get the driver out. So, yeah, opportunity knocks, and it's missed for Greg Payne.
Timmis then, big part of his round, really does need to tuck this one away.
Straight up the hill, give it a whack.
Oh,
yes.
Beautifully done from Jason Timmis, and that will feel like a birdie under these circumstances. Great save from him, but it's Court that still leads by 2. Now, let's get back to the 11th with Kit.
Court and Payne have both found the fairway off the tee here on the 11th. They're down the right-hand side. It's a lovely angle into a front left pin, especially with this breeze now coming off the right and strengthening a little bit. They're very close. It looks like Greg Payne's going to be the first to play. Let's see if he can knock it in tight and pile the pressure on his playing partner.
I think Kit has got this just right. He's starting to call Payne versus Court as a bit of a match play situation, and Payne with a chance here to lay down the gauntlet. Barely any difference between the pair of them on the fairway, and a beautiful swing. That is a great shot into the flag. Good stuff then from Payne. Let's see what Johnny Morgan's got for us at the 13th.
Well, we're here at the 13th hole, par 5, 544 yards, and what a brutal par 5 it is. Water on the right, thick rough on the left, real tight landing area to hit your drive on. Normally blowing a hoolie into you as well, which makes the hole even more difficult and playing an absolute monster. It really is. I've teed myself up on the left-hand side, so I get a nice good view of the fairway down there. It's obviously below me from where I'm hitting as well, but the water's so tight to the fairway as well. You've got to hit an absolute blinder of a tee shot. Now, I picked my point. I always had this little thing when I grew up that my coach member put in a nice little flagpole where I had to hit, and I had to try and take it out of the ground when I was hitting my drives. And it always kept me concentrating on the thing in front of me instead of all the trouble that was in the distance. So I had that always in the back of my mind, and luckily for me there's this little tree just poked up, and that's my aim point there. So I just got that in my head, painting the picture, and time to pull the trigger. Now, driver in hand. Because of the conditions, I'm going to go for a low one, so I'm really going to trap this ball, get that one squeezing out nice and low, close to the surface, not too much up in the air so the wind can affect it. Here we go. Oh, my foot. But I tell you what, I got away with it. I saved it with my hands. That is absolutely arrowed. Straight over my mark. Whew, blessing in disguise. Let's see what I got for my second. Well, on the left-hand side of this fairway. Luckily found it. You know, water on the right, thick rough on the left-hand side as well. So, I mean, it's a tough ask to hit this fairway. I'm looking at it now, I can feel the wind coming off the right-hand side from his second shot, slightly into. 2 bunkers shy and left of the green as well, so that can gather the ball. Bank comes in on the right-hand side, short and round the back. So if I overclub or slightly push it out to the right, you know it's going to kind of hold up for me and not go too far off this green. I'm just kind of thinking it's about the 250 mark from a second. I'm going to hold one up, kind of slide it from left to right into that wind. I'm thinking, right, 3 wood. There you go, slightly grip it down the shaft. Help me to try and move this ball a little bit more from left to right. Good hole, this 13th. Let's see what I got here. Come on. Away, straight at it. Did I hit it enough though? He was in good shape in the air. I couldn't see it land. My goodness, what a great hole.
Great hole, some great shots as well, John. A new one for us there, the old right foot slipper.
Yeah, I know, went a bit Fred Astaire on it. Now, as you see Evans, there's no movement with that right foot like mine. Solid as a rock. And that's not a bad leave, stay there. Nice upslope. Great look at this pin.
He's a little bit unlucky there, isn't he? With the wind, he nailed this.
Yeah, just look at the wide arc, taking it back. Yeah, just shy of parallel at the top. Thunderbolts it through. 2 good hits to get it to where he did. Wind's a little bit stronger today than it was yesterday for me.
Caught then to respond to Payne's challenge at 11.
Yeah, long iron in hand for a second. Long par 4, this one 11. Just missing a green to the left, and that's going to be a tricky up and down for Matthew. Just going through his head what went wrong.
Now, relatively routine for Evans here.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for an easier chip. Uphill, plenty of green. Green facing you from back to front. You can be really positive. Anything past, though, you've got a knee trembler coming back down, so it's essential to be just shy of this hole. Leave yourself a nice uphill putt. You can be aggressive. You know you're going to get a lot of spin on it and control with the golf ball.
2 off the lead and ticking along very nicely. Nice little masterclass there from Evans, and a bit of mastery required here from Court.
Well, Matthew, nice delicate one, pop it up, get it on the fringe, let it release. Oh, and he's done this so well. Look at this, getting better and better. And this is the thing though, Simon, you know, people, you know, they'll stand on the range and they'll beat balls for hours in a day, you know, hit thousands of them, but it comes down to one thing: chipping and putting. That's what wins you tournaments all day long. Don't neglect it, do it. And there you go, pure example. Another up and down for a birdie for Evans. Brilliant stuff.
Well, you heard it from Johnny Morgan. These boys put in a lot of time on the short game practice facilities. Now let's get to 14.
Yes, Simon, 412 yards, par 4. You can see a lot of birdies, but it's all about the drive for show and putt for dough on this one. You can take on the water on the left-hand side, which is about 240, 250 off the tee, just to get level with it. And that leaves you no more than really and honestly a pitch and wedge in. Uphill, you'll be blind, so you won't be able to see the bottom of the pin, especially if it's tucked on the right-hand side over this bunker. A really kooky, little different one, bendy from right to left off the tee to a really small pinprick of a target in the distance for you to have to try and land it on. Good little testing hole, this par 4.
Well, I loved our bird's eye view of the bird flying down the fairway. And this man, Timmis, has flown his drive down the fairway, leaving himself with that in for his second. And that is quality. Jason Timmis is waking up here.
He is, he's in the zone. Silent assassin coming up from behind everyone. Greg Payne needs to hold some putts. There needs to be some birdies. This one always leaking off to the right-hand side. Just don't get too far away. See Corty's ball from his brilliant chip, just snuggled right by the hole.
Good challenge, good fight between those two at the top of the leaderboard. Tim is hoping to get in amongst it with this birdie.
Yeah, this will tie him with Greg Payne if he can hold this one.
Oh.
Yeah, he gets to 5 under.
Just got that read right. He was very, very happy to see that one just wobble in the side door. Moves him.
Yeah, he's a little terrier, isn't he? He's having it. He wants it.
Now then, my new favourite left-hander, Greg Payne. Rolls it in nicely. So Payne for par, and I can tell you that his playing partner Matthew Court also went on to make par, which means he stays at 7 under, just 1 shot clear now of Chris Evans, the man who's the latest player to make a move in the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. This is shaping up for a very interesting finish indeed on the northeast coast of England. So Court versus Evans at the moment. Those are the two guys fighting it out in the head-to-head. More to come after the break. Welcome back to final round action here from the majestic Longhirst Hall Dawson course, the Dawson and Sanderson Classic Championship, and looking forward to the closing holes here, which is exactly what this young man did, Joe Dean. But Longhirst Hall giveth and unfortunately taketh away again where he's concerned. The back 9 nearly a shocker, but he saved it with 3 birdies for a 69, which means he's into the clubhouse on 5 under. So in the end, Joe Dean putting together a good performance to put himself in with a shout here. But at the moment, Matthew Court remains our leader by a single shot over his nearest challenger, Chris Evans. First look at Hall then, birdie opportunity at 15.
Yeah, not the best of days, 2 over par. Long putt up the slope. Go on, yes, that's what we like to see.
As it put a smile on his face, and well, smile / grimace.
Yeah, got to take the rough with the smooth.
Now, let's take another look at this interesting hole. This is the one where this tournament could be won or lost.
Oh, definitely, Simon. It really is a tight driving hole, really, and it's so, you have to be so pinpoint accurate off the tee. I can't stress that enough. We've already seen 2 players, one coming off with a bogey, one coming off with a par, finding trouble off the tee, Timmis and Dean. Now, you come with the second shot, 240, 250 to a raised green, very narrow entrance, 2 bunkers here on the left-hand side, green slopes from back to front, big back, round the right-hand side so it can gather your ball and try and feed back on the green. But it's a tall ask, as we can see now. Here we go, Greg Payne finding water off the tee, taking a drop. This is 3rd, low bullet with a 3-wood.
Well, he's back in play, but we said this is where the tournament could be won or lost, and Payne might just have put the mockers on his round. Griffiths looking for a strong finish at 18. We've seen a lot of playoffs at Longhirst Hall on this hole over the years, and it's a toughie.
Yeah, tall, high rising wedge shot. Oh, come on, go on, go on, breathe on it, breathe on it. Talk to it.
That wind is not playing ball, it's holding it on that slope.
My goodness, that's defied gravity.
Yeah, bogey at 17 for Griffiths, so looking to recover from that. Back to Court then. This is a golden opportunity here.
Well, he's drawn a lovely line. The first cut of rough, out with a 3-wood. This could get close onto the green. Go on, keep going. Perfect leave for Matthew.
Patience for Court could be rewarded at 13. Down the slope then for Griffiths. This is going to be tricky with that breeze as well coming across the putt.
He's very unlucky not to have half the distance of this putt. Missing that to the right. Unfortunate that slope didn't help him. But there you go. Round of 70, 2 under par. Nice day at the office. Finishes 4 under par, Simon.
Yeah, another solid tournament for the young man. Now then, let's hear more from John out at 14.
Well, this is the 412-yard par 4, 14th hole. And it's a good hole for many reasons. Kind of bends from right to left off the tee, and the run out is here, straight into these little trees here that are lurking on the right-hand side of this fairway. This is about 280 off the tee as well, so perfect range for the players to hit into, and the perfect bailout because you've got water on your left-hand side, so they will be looking at these trees. Now, the green here is way above you. Wind today, as you can see, I'm going to just put it out there. It's slightly from my left-hand side. I've tucked myself right behind this tree here, which means then I got aim way left of the green and try and bend it like Beckham from left to right up onto this green. You know, many ways that you can do it though. I'm looking at this. Can I go the high route? If I did, it's more in the front part of my stance with the club face well open, and I'm going to aim it well left and try and get that wind to help me and put the cut spin on it to try and make the shot happen. Or if I had some branches up high up there on the tree, I'd have to hit the low one, which means I come way back in my stance, get my weight further forward on my left, really trap it and hold it off, and probably do the little walk of honour after it. So I'm just looking at these. I've got these few branches just lurking in my way here, right on where that pin is. I'm just thinking, which one do I play? I think I might go the aerial route. What do you think? Right, I've got a little soft 8 iron. I'm going to try and open myself up here. This is going to be going about 20 yards left of this screen. I'm really going to bend. Come on then, John. See what I got. I'm really taking it on. Come on, get over that bunker. I've overcooked it. He's on the dance floor. I'll take it. And I'll tell you what, I think the boys would take it too. Beautiful hole 14.
I like it, John. Now, just explain to me, so how hard do you hit it when you hit it hard?
Yeah, both feet are off the deck at impact.
Now, Evans, fortunately for him, not in the same bother that old David Bellamy Morgan was in earlier. And that'll do.
Yeah, that was very nicely done. That's the way to play it. A great paint. This is 4th.
I love those shots from behind the golfer.
That was a cracking strike. Look at that. You can tell amount of control on that ball.
Sounded good, didn't it?
Yeah, it really was. You could see he's done the old halfway back, halfway through. They're both exactly the same. Finishes pretty much identical to his backswing. And look at that position. Fantastic. Now Evans across the green. This one sloping from right to left, slightly down at the end. Gonna gather speed. When I say gather speed, it didn't. It put the brakes on, just didn't hit it in the first place.
Well, Evans read it exactly the same as you, John, and it hasn't happened. Now these two, like a pair of thoroughbred racehorses, they've been neck and neck down most fairways.
And Matthew excels in these circumstances, and look at that, dancing round the flag.
That's a bit of genius. Look at him use the contour, the wind, everything.
Yeah, done the old fandango round the flag. Bouncing and bobbing and weaving and dodging, just didn't fall in.
Well done to Evans, but just a little ponderous look back at that putt. This breeze is picking up. Real test down the 18th in terms of control coming back to the clubhouse. Watson then with his second shot.
Tall high-rise wedge here for Watson. And look at this, go on. That's a delightful shot, that is. That's just a little tap in. We like those ones. Eases the pressure.
Speak for yourself. Now Payne for par.
He needs this, Simon.
Oh, that is hard of a lion time for the 22-year-old. Brilliant stuff, and it doesn't give Court much daylight in the end.
No, Northern Irishman, Caldwell, left side of the fairway, 18, finish with a flourish, can he? Oh, look at that. Brilliant shots all round from both players. Now, can he stop the rock? Could this be the birdie he's been looking for? 17 pars in a row. My goodness.
We're all behind him. Now Court. This gives himself a little bit more breathing space. Moves from 7 to 8 under. And that 2-shot cushion is back again for Matthew Court. He really hasn't looked in danger in this final round.
Come on, John. Yeah, come on, mate. We're all cheering you on here. Me and Simon. Right edge. It didn't move. It didn't move. My goodness.
Well, the locals saying it as well. Would you believe it?
Well, it's got to be rare. This has got to be rare. I don't see many rounds where you've had 18 pars all the way around. I mean, from start to finish, he looks a little bit cheesed off, doesn't he? Just, he knows He's had so many chances for birdies, it just hasn't dropped, but solid round of golf.
A grey day for Caldwell, but a bit more colour on the scorecard for Watson. Not quite the colours he would like, though.
No, nice way to finish for Robert, though. I know it's a 75, but that's the way it is. That's the game of golf. As we have a good look at 14, you just see those group of trees. I was there earlier at 280 off the tee. The water not really in play. Then you've got an uphill shot of no more than 130, 140 yards. So a nice little small target. Vital to find a putting green here, or you've got a very difficult chip ahead of you.
Well, our leading group next out onto this hole. And there we go on the mobile scoreboard. 8 under versus 5 under. And this is the man that is on 8 under. Caught then. First to hit.
Yeah, laying way back here. Matthew has taken a 3-wood off the tee.
Oh, he's
and
playing
look at
beautifully.
that. Daniel Dart, Matthew Court on fire. 7 iron. Wow.
Evans at 15. Not out of it yet, you know.
Far from it, Simon. He's swinging beautifully. He really is very confident. To a high rising 9 iron here. Oh, and just, well, 1 club short. Definitely needed that 8 iron to get it to the back of the green. He must have done his yardages wrong. No paint. Lovely tee shot.
Can he respond to the court challenge? Yes, he can. Woo! Oh, wow. Nearly a game of marbles there.
You beauty.
14th. That was a cracker as well.
It was indeedy. Dancing round the flags. Now Evans from distance. Long. It's a tall order, this one. All the way up this green. Pitch it halfway, release. Come on, keep going. Just left himself so much to do.
Just coming up short on several occasions over the last few holes.
This is a huge putt for Greg. Really needs to get the momentum going, put the pressure on Matt. Matt's inside him and he can't convert.
Chances, chances, and they are all going a-begging at the moment for Greg Payne. Nice gallery following this lead group. But the reaction tells you everything you need to know. Payne fancied that, it's drifted by.
He did. You just seen a marker of Matthew there, no more than 4 feet from the flag. Evans to save his par at 15. Stay at 6 under.
Well done, very well done, because that means that he doesn't hand even more of a cushion to the leader court. He keeps that challenge alive, and he's got a chance of posting a decent clubhouse score here as Evans. Caught though. Well, he had a chance to take matters into his own hands there, rather than relying on the rest, and he shoved it past.
Yeah, that surprised me there, Simon. I didn't see him missing that one. Yeah, you can tell that. Just having a good little telling off to himself.
Well, it is a telling off, but it's still a pretty telling lead. 8 under for Matthew Court, 2 shots ahead of Chris Evans. Joe Dean in the clubhouse at 5 under will be rather relaxed at the moment. He'll be in the money at the end of this Dawson and Sanderson Classic, but who is going to win the trophy? Matthew Court at the moment is the front runner. The conclusion to this championship coming up after the break.
Welcome back to the hotelplanner.com PGA EuroPro Tour. Court leads by 2. Let's get back to the action.
Yes, indeed. Court has pretty much had the lead all the way through this final round and has played nice and steadily. But his playing partner, Greg Payne, has had so many opportunities to put the pressure on, hasn't quite managed to do that. Can he find something on these closing holes?
Well, he needs something to happen. Just see that water. That was early on in the week where we had a massive downpour of rain, and it's drained so well. The course has really held up fantastic, and that's a wonderful shot. Nice little fist pump. Mother must be proud.
was I walk up onto 16, a par 3, 198 yards. You know, wind normally coming off your right-hand side and down. This green just sweeps from right to left and slopes from back to front as well. And the green is only 23 deep on 2 massive levels as well. That's where the awkwardness of this hole comes in. This green, it's not the biggest target, but it's the slopiest one as well. You've got water all running down the left-hand side. Great pin position here today as well. So, you know, if you take that on, you slightly overcook it, the water's in play and a big slope that could kick it all the way down into there. You've got a bunker just shy on the right hand side, but that's about 7 yards short of this green, so not really in play for the players. As you can see here, I got a nice little simple chip, just looking straight up at the pin here. It's all uphill, a little bit of right to left. I got the old 56, I'm not going for the 60, too much loft. I need a little bit of run to it. Now the way I would play this one, back of the stance opposite my right foot, hands forward, get it running towards this hole. Golden opportunity to make a 2. Come on. Oh, lip out central. Tell you what, tap that in, make your 3, head to the next. You just never know.
Johnny Morgan making it all look very easy once again. Trust me, it isn't. 16 then in Evans.
Oh, strikes it so good. Jealous.
Hashtag jealous. Love it.
Just coming up a little bit shy. That's going to be awkward, but just slightly up a rise. Bit of bend from right to left in that one as well. It's going to be pretty awkward to get close, but look at this. Beautiful at the top, it really is. Amazing balance, really clears himself so well out the way with the hips. Thunderbolts it down the line, and that's why it's such a crisp strike. 9 times out of 10. Now Court, wedge in hand. Can take this flag right on, back right today. Oh, and he's misjudged it.
Well, we saw a rather shaky putt on the last hole from Matthew Court, and that, another sign that maybe he's just starting to feel things out there, and I'm very surprised by that. He looked in total control.
That golden opportunity. He won't know what's gone on behind him. Up over the ridge, right to left. Oh, and he's totally misread it. Yeah, that slope just confusing him a little bit.
Court then might just have been let off the hook here if he can get a nice recovery shot away. Oh, look at that. So not in the sand. That's tricky.
Oh no, this one's good. He'd be loving that. It's just if there was a little few brushes of sand there, you could see it pop up. He'd be counting his lucky stars on that one.
Got away with it, and got away with it very well. And that might just be all the luck that he needs. Now then, let's take a look at 17. We've had a few birdies here during the course of the week, but not that many.
Yeah, lovely hole. 17 really is. All the way up the hill, 359 yards. Bunkers in play that were way left on the hole, not really in play for the players. They'll be taking them over that, aiming down the right side, opens up a nice passage to this green. Very small target again to aim at, so it's vital to hit a good, decent iron shot into this awkward green.
Back to that kind of plotting your way round a course. This is one of those holes, and if you plot it correctly, then you'll get that shot into this target, and that's what Timmis has got. Finished tied 3rd last year at Longhirst Hall, and he's heading for another brilliant finish, and after that shot it could be the big one.
Well, boom from him, and boom from Evans as well.
Right on cue. I don't think he feels particularly boomy right now, does Evans? Still shaking his head, still wondering about that putt. But look at that.
That's awesome. That
Timmis
really
is rolling. Timmis is rolling.
That was well deserved. Great tall towering iron shot to nothing, and that's well momentum well in his favour. Nice spring in his step now. Come on, Payne. 15-footer up the slope. Go on. Oh, and it dives in.
At last, and that little aggressive fist pump there from Payne.
You can see the grind of the teeth, like, come on, my son, I'm having it.
Good lad, moves himself to 6 under, so he and Timmis, in the blink of an eye, moving to that score. Court still has company, and he's still got work to do.
Oh, after his little miss a couple of holes before, might be in the back of his head. No, it isn't. What am I like? This man's been there and done it.
Well struck. I think he feels he's just had his couple of little bits of luck, and he's going to capitalise on it now. Court then remains on 8 under. But look at that, Timmis, Evans and Payne on 6 under, the chasing pack. Now Payne will feel that he can do something about this tournament now over the closing holes.
Oh, good strike through the ball. Oh, nice whip, tall towering shot. Oh, coming up shy as well. Real lengthy putt ahead of him.
Well, Payne, we talked about this left-hander's swing. Let's take another look at it here. It doesn't quite seem to have that shift through the ball that you see from a lot of left-handers. Very smooth.
I mean, we've slowed it down as much as we can, but you can really get a good sense of how his hips turn out the way. Gives himself good clear passage through the shot, and he extends through to the target. Great swing. As we see Matthew now, probably gone up a club. This will be a 5-iron. He's drawing on the wind. He's long.
Ooh. Well,
and that's not far away from where I was showing you guys earlier, but the pin is in a slightly different position. Very awkward chip he's got ahead of him. And this is a man that does work hard on his swing, always on working on his game, trying to find the answer. And rhythm is a dancer.
Trouble is with golf, half of us don't know what the question is. Now then, out of the rough stuff, I'm afraid, for Timmis, and this is going to put a blemish on the finish to his round. That's a shame, because he was going really well. And from Timmis at 18 to Kit Alexander with our leader at 16.
Court's missed the green here at the last par 3 hole, the 16th. He's got a lot of green to work with, but the tricky thing is his ball has run right up against the collar of rough. Some people might putt it, maybe a bellied wedge, or he might just try a traditional chip. Down at the front of the green, Greg Payne, he's hit it, but he's got a tough 2-putt, arguably even tougher than Court faces right now. There's a big tier, it's long, there's a bit of swing in it at the front. Anything that leaves a tap in for par is a great approach putt.
So Kit's presented 3 options for Court. John, which one's he gone with?
He's gone for the middle one. I'll tell you what, back of the stance, don't want too much groove on this, and this is looking brilliant. Whew.
That is a very, very good shot, and that's the most emotion you're going to get out of Matthew Court on a golf course. Believe it or not, he enjoyed that. Now Evans at 17. For some reason, over the last 3 holes, the wheel has just come off the wagon. Hasn't quite found it. Doesn't like that one either. And that's why. Timmis to go to 7 under in the clubhouse, but he'll need to chip this one in.
Yeah, quite a simple chip though for Timmis. Lots of green to work with. Give it a run. Don't be too bold though. Oh my goodness. We're talking pound signs now. These chips, vital times for these players. They need to convert, get the money in the bank and up on the board.
Here's the smelly one then for Payne that Kit was referring to.
Just concentrate on the pace of the putt. That is all you do, and that is absolutely sublime. Brilliant stuff from Greg Payne.
That's awesome stuff. Very aggressive with his last putt from this sort of range. And rolls this one in nicely as well. So Payne still possibilities there for him. Now this is going to be tricky to save from here.
You've got to get this one up very quick. You can see that lip right close to the ball. Open the stance up. Oh, plays it nice. Release. He's trying. It's not a bad effort. Still a bit of work to be done though. That wasn't an easy bunker shot, especially when the sand is so wet from the previous days.
Caught for par. Don't think we ever felt that was in doubt. It's been solid over those putts today. Now Evans, you saw that head movement there, just trying to get the line back to the club head.
Downhill, right to left. That's to save his par. Oh, just forgot to hit it. It was in.
Short again. For a man that clubs the ball so well, that will be frustrating. Timmis then to stay on 6 under.
Yeah, he's had a great round so far. Come on, finish with a bang. You deserve it, mate. It's been a good round. Come on. Oh, unlucky. I mean, he's going to obviously tap that one in for a bogey. It's a little blemish to finish with, but you got to say it's been a good day at the office. You can take the positives. Just look at that round. Only 2 blips, 4 birdies, 2 under par. He did want that 69, that's for sure, and get to 6 under, but not to beat. But I'm sure we'll see a lot of him.
Stranded in 3rd place again, just like last year, Jason Timmis, and now it's coming down to what looks like a 3-horse race in the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. Matthew Court, though, is still the front runner at 8 under par. Well, always interesting challenges on this back 9 here at Longhirst Hall on the Dawson course. Court has negotiated them pretty well. He's had a couple of little flutters over the last few holes, but he's striking the ball nicely again.
Just seen Matthew there, just a little small stance, back of the ball in the back of his stance as well. Just a little bit of a shorn off shot, really taking a lot off it. And here it goes. You can just see the narrowness of his stance there, just punching a shot under the wind. And that was very well played. That's a mature shot. That's a player that's been playing for a long time.
Evans 3 off the pace. Can he find something at 18? Giving himself another chance. He's got that to go to 6 under in the clubhouse.
Now, Greg, is he going to do the same? I just wonder. It's all about the ball flight in these conditions. Very blustery now. Wind's got up. And there it is, shorn off. Follow through, really controlling the ball flight. And there it is.
Another cracker from Payne. So Payne v Court. And just behind the green, Kid Alexander to tell us what putts they're facing.
Our leader, Matthew Court, has hit a great shot into 10 feet here for birdie. This one could be for the tournament. He holds a 2-shot lead. There's just the 18th to play after this. It's a good look. It'll move slightly from the left. He probably wants to start at a cup, maybe a cup and a half outside the left, depending on how aggressive he wants to be. But there's not much slope in it in terms of uphill, downhill, so he'll know the pace. This is a great opportunity to seal the tournament with 1 hole left to play.
Yeah, good call, Kit. Court can shut the door here. Payne's just got to hang on in.
Greg can open the door by potting this one in and put the pressure on. Can he do it? Oh. That's 2 good putts in a row. Just missed.
Doors opening and closing all over the place on 17. Not quite for Greg Payne, and I'm afraid that's been the case for him during the course of this round. Not quite. Now Evans looking to finish off what has been an untidy closing run here.
We've seen Caldwell. This one doesn't move a great deal from the right, but that moves so early and straightened up. He's gone for the straight one, and it moved halfway down. But there you go, finishes with a par. Could be one of those rounds where you just think it could have been my day. 4 birdies, 3 bogeys, 71.
Going to be another top 10 though for the man that just keeps churning them out. And then Court. This is the big putt of his round.
Yeah, this could seal the deal. Left to right, swinger.
Oh, no.
Oh, under borrowed.
Still all to play for then, going down the 18th. And by no means done and dusted, but if you'd offered him this score at the start of the day and this situation at the start of the day, leading by 2 with 1 to play, he'd have bitten your hand off. Now then, let's take a look at the hole that the leaders are going to have to take on next.
Well, here we go. 18th final hole, 423 yards, par 4. Just playing this week over par so far, so it's a tough cookie for these players. Bends from left to right off the tee. Really, if you want to take on the bunker on the right, you can do with a driver, but you come to a very tall, narrow green on many levels. Slopes from back to front as well. If you go long, you're in no man's land. Anything short is the place to leave it, and especially with the pin that's front left today. Very manageable to get a birdie.
Now then, Payne, looks to me like he's got the big dog out here. He's going to go for this. Oh, he's absolutely mullered it.
There we go. Look at those eyes.
What
Greg,
a shot.
look at this one bounding on. It's caught the fast lane.
That is an incredible hit, and you just saw it, the facial expression after he hit that. There was absolute intent.
Look at this. What a wind-up. Look, slight overswing. He's putting everything into it. Look at the feet doing a dance. The follow-through. Couldn't get any more follow-through it. Fair play. Great balance as well to boot. Now, here we go. Methodical court. Out with the hybrid for position.
From a snarling Greg Payne to a safety first Matthew Court.
And that's a wise move, though. Matthew doesn't need to start bombing drivers. He just needs at worst, a par.
Clever stuff, comfortable stuff from our leader, Matthew Court. Keeping things together nicely down the 18th. Let's get to kit then. It's dramatic stuff.
And then there were two. It's a real match play situation here, down 18. There's 2 shots in it. Court leads Payne. Payne has absolutely killed his tee shot. He's 100 yards past Court off the tee. He's got a flick with a wedge into the green. Court's looking at more of a mid-iron. 2 shots might seem like a comfortable cushion, but after these tee shots, anything could happen.
And by Jove, it could. Now, Court, this is going to be a 7 or 6 iron in his hand. 180 yards to go. Anything just right at this pin. Take all the trouble out of play. And there it is. Great course management. Experience. Paying dividends here. Come 18.
Yeah, good match play skills. Going shorter off the tee means that he gets the first throw of the dice, and basically he's just said to Greg Payne, you got to hold this, mate, if you want the trophy.
Well, come on, Greg. Fireworks. Let's see it.
He's gone at it. Oh, unlucky.
And that would have looked so good in the air. That was right down it, just half a club shy. Full credit to you, though. Greg, you played extremely well, my friend. Now, you just never know, though. Matthew's 30 feet from the cup. He's only 10 feet. Matthew 3 putts. Greg holds it. Huh, sudden deafer.
Court would be kicking himself, though, if he doesn't seal the deal from here. First part, then, of the puzzle. Negotiated.
Oh, I hyped it all up, and he's just knocked it stone dead. Look at that. Little tap in for him.
Yeah, he put you back in your chair, didn't he, John?
He did. He did indeed. Now, Greg, come on, bud. Roll this one in. Slight. I still see this as a movement from the left-hand side. Left lip putt.
Not going to happen, I'm afraid, for Greg Payne. He's guaranteed himself a good finish. But it's going to be runners-up spot for the 22-year-old.
Look at that, solid as a rock. No Jonathan Caldwell. 1 birdie, 1 bogey. Tell you what, par 72. Good performance by Greg Payne. Now here's for the champ.
Yes, Matthew Court, the easiest putt that he'll have for a trophy. And that little bit of emotion, that celebration just at the end there, underlines how much it means to him. That was a very, very steady round of golf to bring home this trophy in testing circumstances on the final day. He's a happy man, I can tell you. Matthew Court, the Dawson and Sanderson Classic champion for 2016. A very comfortable win in the end, but not as comfortable as it looked. Matthew Court then 8 under, beats Greg Payne, his playing partner, by 2 shots in the end. Time then to hear from our winner. Here's Matthew Court.
Matt, you've just won the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, it's a little bit tense out there, but with Greg finishing off well, you know, I know I had a couple of shot lead, and then he kind of pegged me back a little bit, but yeah, it's a great feeling. Not sunk in yet, but I just played solid.
Congratulations to Matthew Court, the Director of Golf here at Longhirst, Graham Chambers, presenting the trophy. Right then, from the winner to the runner-up, let's hear from Greg Payne.
Greg, you went into the final round tied for the lead. You finish alone in second, 2 shots back. What are your initial reactions to that?
I felt like I played really well today. Matt just played that little bit better. All credit to him. It was very tough out there, and he just outplayed me today. So I can't really do much about that.
An even par round in pretty tough conditions. As you say, it's a good effort in the final round. What do you think was just missing?
I just lacked birdies. I lacked getting it close enough. He took advantage of a couple of the par fives where I didn't. And that was it, really. I had nothing really go for me all day.
On the positive side, alone in second means a £6,000 cheque added to your other £6,000 cheque from earlier in the season, and you're now top of the Order of Merit.
That sounds really good. You can say that again.
You're top of the Order of Merit.
I like the sound of that.
Yes, there is a silver lining for Greg Payne after week 4 on the Order of Merit. The race to Desert Springs, he moves to top spot with his second runners-up finish, joined by our 3 winners, Court, Runcie and Eddington, and another consistent performer, Hodkinson, to round out the top 5.
That's it for this week's show. Make sure you join us next week when we're in Scotland at Montrose.